Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us. I'm Keith Silva. Self-driving cars, artificial intelligence, human missions to Mars. Science fiction is quickly becoming science fact. The next generation of visionaries and inventors may be discovered right here in Vermont. Since starting last year, the Vermont Teen 4-H Science Pathways Cafes have been a hit with middle school and high school students. The cafes have covered topics like microplastics, the science of stress, and entomology. We'll have information on the 2019 cafe schedule in a few minutes. I attended the first 4-H Science Pathways Cafe, where students were asked to set their sights on the stars and the field of astrobiology.
Look at those bubbles.
Could be a kind of organic life.
If you were a teenager in the 50s or 60s, science fiction might have been the only way you learned about life on other planets.
In extreme environments.
For today's teens, science fiction is fast becoming science fact.
If we do find life somewhere else, we don't necessarily expect it to look like us.
This talk by ecologist Hilary Imick on astrobiology, the study of life on Earth and in space, is the first Vermont Teen 4-H Science Pathways Cafe. UVM Extension 4-H Teen and Leadership Specialist Lauren Traster coordinated the event.
This is a national effort. It started in New Mexico, and the folks there were so successful in what they were doing, they received a large grant to try to expand this idea across the U.S. So they have a goal of getting at least one teen science cafe in every state. So we are the first in Vermont.
The formula for these cafes goes like this. Take teenagers interested in math and science, add a scientist from the community, provide everyone with free pizza, and voila, you've got a way of learning that's relaxed and fun.
In school, it's very formal. It can turn a lot of students off. In science, when done informally and casually and just through conversation and interesting ideas and sharing cool research, the hope is that you're going to spark interest in our young people to understand that science is more than just a lab coat.
Liquid methane has a lot of the same properties as water.
I really like science in general, so when I heard about this, I thought this would be a really great way to get more involved in science. And
Isabel Petrucci is a junior at Essex High School. Getting to meet a real scientist is one of the reasons she came to the cafe.
most kids, the only connection they have to science is through their teachers. And I mean, obviously they know a lot about science, but it's not the same thing as being an actual scientist and doing actual research and work. And so I think it's just going to be interesting for kids to see how exactly that works and just what they can do later on in the future.
The casual setting of the cafe makes complex ideas like life on other planets a little easier to understand. Hearing that message from a scientist who also happens to live nearby makes a world of difference to Lena Ashew.
Whereas when you can actually see what you can do within your state, like Vermont, you never think of NASA in Vermont or of these big science experiments happening in Vermont. But I think definitely through this cafe we can see that there are professions within the state, within science, that are really exciting and engaging.
Ashew is one of the members of the 4-H teen leadership team helping to facilitate this event. Unlike her, most of the teens in attendance aren't 4-H members, which reminds Ashew of how much 4-H has to offer to anyone and everyone.
Well, I think 4-H generally as an organization, a lot of people don't know that there are a lot of different parts of 4-H. I think the purpose of this Teen Science Cafe is to show people that there's a whole broad range of professions and expertise and different organizations that you can get involved in through 4-H.
Is the gas usually visible?
Well, you can see the bubbles that it forms.
In addition to their talk, each speaker provides the attendees with a hands-on experiment. The teens were asked to take a soil sample and add water. If their sample produced bubbles, it was viable and could support life. This hands-on opportunity is in line with the 4-H model of learning by doing.
Yeah, that's it.
Getting to learn hands-on about a topic she isn't studying in school is what Ellie Ramirez-Richer likes about this event.
I think it's more engaging to and it's something different than school. It's a subject we haven't gone over so far, which is okay at school, but I like to learn about other stuff other than just what we're learning at school, which is kind of nice. This gives you opportunity for that.
Traster believes giving these young people a chance to meet and talk with someone who has a job they might like to do one day has benefits far beyond this event.
A lot of times what happens is emails get exchanged, and that young person now has someone that they can actually contact and say, hey, I came and heard you speak, or you presented a workshop, I'm interested in this. Could you provide me some direction on, are there articles I can read, websites I can visit, Facebook pages? Is there a school or a college that offers a really good program in this? I think that is a tremendous benefit by connecting the professionals with our young people at the time that they're beginning to think about what path they want to take.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Discovering life on other planets is the next big leap for humankind. And who knows, maybe one of the teenagers at this Vermont Teen 4-H Science Pathways Cafe will help all of us take the first step. The next 4-H Science Pathways Cafe takes place on February 2nd from 5 to 7 p.m. at UVM's Davis Center. The topic is energy transfer and storage. Students will build a battery, an electromagnet, and create wireless electricity. Registration is required, so please sign up at the website listed on the screen or call 802-888-4972. And last but certainly not least, this event includes free pizza and drinks. Our next story deals with what every scientist, researcher, and entrepreneur needs: funding. For students at UVM, a new funding opportunity is giving them support to take their ideas from concept to completion. Rebecca Gollin has our story.
Do we like the number of 6? Do we want to increase it to give,
There's a new resource for the University of Vermont's up-and-coming entrepreneurs.
The Catamount Innovation Fund is UVM's first student-run venture catalyst program.
Medical student Al Marquez is one of the co-founders of the Catamount Innovation Fund.
We're a completely student-run team. All of the operations, all of the investments, all of the consulting is done by current UVM students. And current students, whether graduate or undergraduate, as well as alumni of up to 5 years, are eligible to apply.
Teams apply to be part of a year-long program where they're paired with an undergraduate business analyst who helps them develop their idea. The money to support the ventures comes from UVM alumni. Throughout the year, the students are provided with resources and small grants to get their businesses off the ground. And at the end of the year, those teams are eligible for up to $10,000 for further development.
Whereas people like to hold physical products or see a service, especially one.
Throughout the time, I mentioned we provide a lot of resources in terms of workspace, funding for prototype development. We have workshops led by local members of the startup community. And at the end, teams will be rewarded with money to help them reach their next and final milestone in the accelerator program.
In the first year of the program, 24 teams applied and 6 were selected. Those who participated had a variety of business ideas and products ranging in stages of development. They're here at UVM's Davis Center to share the culmination of their work for the year in a demo day.
So why not make a bigger stress on collaboration while we're still in school?
Our project is pretty preliminary, so the brunt of our work so far has been seeing what's out there, like who is doing something similar to what we're doing. How do we progress forward? Like before developing, do you wireframe, do you prototype? Getting in contact with people who've been through this before.
Like Marquez, Sam Logan and the other members of his team are medical students. They're developing a mobile app that seeks to streamline information and increase efficiency for patients as they're discharged from the hospital.
You might be sick, you might be just tired and stressed out, you might even be on drugs. And either way, it's not really fair for you to have to comprehend everything that you need to know. And not being able to do your wound care as best as you can, maybe missing a couple drug doses. Something as simple as that can really hurt your recovery and your care. So we hope to take those discharge notes and organize them better. Put them on your phone so you can see everything by appointment. So you can search by contraindication of this medication or all of your medications. So not so much pressure is put on that few moments, those like 5 minutes where you just need to understand everything. So you can go home and you can work with your care better.
For Logan and his team, working with their business analyst helped them keep track of the big picture.
They help you with things that, I mean, as a med student, I'm not really familiar with. They helped us get in contact with mentors. That's not something that I've really had to do in this setting before. They helped us do market research, also something that was quite opaque. They helped us refine our processes, which is something that I never thought I would say, in that I have a team of 3 people. Should we all be doing the same thing? Should we be doing different things? How do we be more efficient? And they really helped us with that.
I knew I had some tools that I could help them with, but I also knew that I would take a lot out of it, like you would with an internship or something like that.
Julia Campanella is one of the student business analysts working with the fund. She was paired with a different team who's developing an opioid risk assessment tool. It was a new topic for Campanella.
It was something totally outside of anything I knew about. Being a business major with a studio art minor, I don't do anything medical related, but I've always found it to be really interesting, especially the drug epidemic that's going on right now.
The opioid epidemic is something that doesn't only affect drug dealers or our typical person. It affects everyone we know.
Campanella helped the team network with business and medical professionals in the area to develop their idea and begin bringing it to fruition. The team is now working with a programmer to create a basic version of their tool that they will then be able to pitch to potential clients. And at the end of the experience, Campanella says she has taken a lot away.
It's done a few things for me. It's first of all helped me meet students here at UVM that I wouldn't normally meet, which has been really big for me, and connecting with people who have similar interests, and that's definitely enhanced my own experience at UVM. It's also helped me connect with a lot of people in the local area and professors that I wouldn't normally work with, and that's been really cool just to get ideas from them, even for things like future career goals and jobs and stuff like that. I've definitely opened a lot of doors through being involved with the fund.
Offering students a real-world experience while they're still in school is invaluable.
This offering is filling the need of how can we keep those students who, on the one hand, want to learn about entrepreneurship and want a real live experience. It's one thing to watch Shark Tank on TV. It's another thing to be the shark in the room actually making the decisions about who gets the funding to go forward.
Eric Munson is the faculty advisor for the group. He's been impressed with the progress he's seen the teams make over the year.
On the one hand, the analysts are people who are interested in entrepreneurship, but they're not ready to take the dive just yet. So it gives them a lot of experience on the investment side of the table and decision making, the training side of the table. Very valuable skills, but there's this other cohort of students, the folks we saw tonight, who had ideas and were ready to run with those ideas this year.
Then I developed the universal binding attachment and wrote a provisional patent application, and I'm extremely excited to announce that as of today, the provisional patent has been filed.
For some participants, the experience has opened their eyes to their options for when they leave school. Business student Campanella is now contemplating a future as an entrepreneur.
The takeaway from working with the fund, and then I also happen to have started a research assistant position this semester as well with a professor in the business school. The culmination of the tools that I've learned from the both of them have made me realize this is a field I want to go into, which I would have not known about 6 months ago. So that's been really exciting for me, really exploring kind of who I am and what my interests are. It's definitely helped take away something that I didn't know would come about.
For me, it's a way to kind of integrate with medicine and like look at it from an entirely different perspective, and that's a component of I want that to be a component of my career, like going forward. So it's been really cool to be able to do that.
It's a taste of real-world business experience for these UVM students as they start their careers. In Burlington, I'm Rebecca Gollin with Across the Fence.
Thanks, Rebecca. As we say goodbye, I want to thank everyone here at WCAX for making today's program possible. And as always, thank you for stopping by Across the Fence.